and why people get them. So to start off, what is a tattoo? A tattoo is a form of body modification where design is made by inserting ink, dyes, and pigments, either like permanent or temporary, in the dermis layer of the skin to change the pigment. So there's three main types of tattoos. I'm going to begin talking about permanent tattoos, which what most people have. So a permanent tattoo is when a tattoo artist uses a mechanical needle to insert ink underneath the skin in the dermis layer of the skin. So like the ink stays in the skin as a scar, so like the scar is a tattoo. I have three of these. I have two on my wrists, and I have one on my sternum. They're pretty cool. So you see a lot of these types of tattoos in Japan, New Zealand, Africa, and the United States. So with Japan, they have a complicated history. They had like a tattoo aversion that began in the early 1600s because they tattooed criminals so they could identify them in public, so they knew to like stay away from those people. So this aversion was mainly thanks to the Japanese mafia that peaked at that time. In New Zealand, they considered the head like a sacred region, so that's where they typically tattooed if you were of a high rank in society. In 1907, they banned these under the Tahunga Suppression Act, which ended up getting repealed in the 1960s. African culture regarding tattoos goes back to nearly 2000 BC, which I think is the longest tattoo history. So they had a very unique tattooing process called skin scarification. So they used an instrument to cut the skin into a desired pattern, and basically it was just like the scar was the tattoo. And then later on, they started adding like soot and ash to the wound, so it would make it like a raised 3D tattoo. And in America, tattoos are usually associated with misfits, sailors, and motorcyclists, although this stereotype is beginning to broaden out to other groups of people. So they're performed by using a handheld tattoo machine, which punctures the skin repeatedly, inserting ink. So another type of tattoo is a henna tattoo, and this is performed by making a paste that has dye in it, and they put it on the skin, and you let the paste dry, and then when it dries, you can just brush it off, and that stains the skin for about 30 days. So sometimes, especially in India, they add medicines to the paste, like lemon juice and crushed cloves. So henna tattoos are performed when celebrations or rite of passages are meant to take place, such as weddings, religious holidays, and festivals. And also Indian women get them when they're about to get married. And there's like a little myth that the darker the henna stains, the more her husband will love her. And last but not least, we have temporary tattoos, which you guys have probably all had. Usually as children you get them. So temporary tattoos are made by screen printing a design on a paper coated with transfer film, and then you put the print side down on your skin, and you let it down. Once it's soaked, you pull the paper up, and there you go, you have it. It lasts a day or two. So of course, based on your age and your culture, different tattoos have different types of meaning, and to me, that's the beautiful thing about tattoos. Is it's very individualistic, and they can be whatever you wish, and for each one, they have a different meaning.
So tell me about your tattoos.
Okay, so this one I got when I turned 16, and it says "You are art." If you don't know me, I'm a very artistic person. I love to paint and to draw. So for me, that's like a painting. My brother told me that a painting is never finished. You can always keep going with it. So it's kind of like the semicolon thing with depression. That's how I interpret it. This one is a tube of yellow paint. There's a myth that Vincent Van Gogh used to eat yellow paint because he thought it would make him happy. And so for me, that's finding what makes me happy, no matter how crazy people may think it is. And then one of my sternum is just 2 roses. I really like roses, and I just thought it was cool. So.
All right. Great. Good job. Jazz.